Let's look ahead to Sunday in the NBA. How do we stream in to win the matchup? Michael Bolton.
Thanks, Josh. It's Michael Bolton here, and it's time for another episode of the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it, indeed.
You are Locked On Fantasy Basketball, your daily fantasy basketball podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast, brought to you by Basketball Monster. My name is Josh Lloyd, and $125 for a ceramic mug with two handles seems okay. I'm also the lead fantasy analyst at basketballmonster.com. You can find me on Twitter, as always, at redrock_bball, on TikTok at redrock_bball, and on Instagram at LockedOnFantasyBasketball. Today's episode is brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs. If I can find the thing. Yes, LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the qualified candidates that you want to talk to faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA. That is linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Thank you also for making Locked On Fantasy Basketball your first listen every day. We are free and we are available on all platforms. Go ahead and double bang. Watch the video, listen to the audio, make sure you're always thumbing, make sure you're subscribing. We're still doing Operation 80K. Don't worry about that. We're getting there. Maybe we'll get the end of the season. Tough ask, but you never know. And then, of course, the big pre-bang, the big triple bang on the old live trade deadline show Thursday, February 8th, 6 days away, 1 p.m. Eastern. Go ahead and like that video. Let's hit 1,500 pre-bangs on that. It'll be linked below. It'll be linked above. Go and check it out. We are talking about Sunday in the NBA. And I've been very adamant, did the Week 16 preview earlier today and said, do not use your waiver ads, save your waiver ads. Do not stream to begin the week. Said that many times. If big injury situations happen or early trades happen, then weigh up whether making that ad makes sense. That's how all of that works. I know this was going to happen. I know it was going to happen because sometimes I'm not very clear. When I am talking about streaming today for Sunday to end week 15, that is the complete, not the same thing as not streaming next week. Stream your ass off for Sunday. Get whatever you need in to win your matchup. It does not count for next week. You don't need to save your week 15 streaming ads for the trade deadline. You do that once the Sunday has clicked over. And a smart way of doing it is to stream for Sunday, but stream for Sunday plus the beginning of the week. Chunk it up. Get your extra games in Monday through Wednesday of week 16 by using a guy who plays Sunday and then two more games to begin week 16. That is how you counteract that issue. That is how we're approaching this. We also just got news, in between recording the two shows today, that Zack LaVine is out for the season with foot surgery. Still a really weird scenario. Apparently, it seems like him and his agency pushed for the surgery. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't think he's going to be traded now. You still can be traded when you're injured. But no one's going to want to do that, I'm guessing, because they would want to use Zack LaVine now. And I don't think a bad team is going to want to acquire LaVine right now to have him sit and do nothing for you. Maybe they do. I don't expect that. We saw that in the past with the Warriors and Andrew Bogut when they traded Monte Ellis for him. Got Bogut, didn't play the whole rest of the season. Dynasty straight after that, basically. They did that, made themselves worse, got an asset for the next season, and went on. Not sure that's going to fit in there with LaVine. And again, the questions will come. Who do I add now that LaVine's out? LaVine has been out. We have seen this team without LaVine. We know what happens without LaVine. So, Caruso, yes. Dosunmu, yes. Dosunmu probably does get impacted when Patrick Williams is back, but that's a couple of weeks. So just add Caruso, add Dosunmu. That's what you need to do. Deeper leagues, you look at Julian Phillips, Dalen Terry, Javon Carter, but that's like 20 teamers. It's just a very clear ad of Caruso, which it has been for the whole season. It's a very clear ad of Ayo Dosunmu, who's stepping up at the moment, and that is your impact of Zack LaVine being traded. I don't know if that changes anything about this team making moves at the deadline. No idea. But that is where we're at. With that, let us talk about injuries, and a lot of stuff just to sort of come out of the blue here for Sunday, as happens at this point of the year. We are heading towards the All-Star break. Players get exhausted, fatigued, injuries build up. This happens a lot at this point of the year. It's very, very normal for overuse, overwear injuries for 60% of the season. If stuff just builds up and they start to be more injuries at this point, it is pretty common. Marvin Bagley is out for the Wizards, so that's a couple more minutes probably going on to Dan Gafford there. I don't think that Gafford gets traded. If he does get traded, then Bagley's the guy that you want. Bagley also has really shown an inability to stay healthy through his career. But as an 18-minute backup, Bagley's not a hold at all. They're also going to be missing Kyle Kuzma and Isaiah Livers. So big opportunities for Bilal, who also is on the injury report, and Corey Kispert even to step up into that role. And then you've got those, their backup centre, man. It's going to have to be Anthony Gill because they've got no one now again. Jaren's out. Told you that I wasn't very confident in Jaren Jackson's rest of season value. Was not confident at all. And now we're just seeing it start to bump up. This Grizzlies team is going to be frustrating every single game. There's going to be 7 guys, 8 guys on the injury report every single game. You're going to have guys like Jaren out with hip soreness today. Like, he's just going to be all over the place. So is Kennard. So is Concha. So is Vince, probably, maybe. So is Smart if he comes back. So is Bane if he comes back. Tillman with his knee. Aldama will do it. Everyone will do it. And it makes any sort of opportunity there hard to do. That's why I was always advocating to, once this stuff all went awry, to just try and move on from Jaren for a top 50 guy. Not great. Laravia's going to be still out. Zaire Williams, whatever's going on with him and his hand issue. Even if Zaire played 30 minutes a night, I wouldn't even touch him in 12-team leagues. I just think he's not very good. Duncan Robinson's still out with his concussion. And LaMelo Ball remains out. I have zero idea what is going on here. This, of course, is the Hornets and their terrible injury report. It came literally out of LaMelo's mouth saying, this was on Monday, saying, oh yeah, look, it's just a bit sore. I think I should be back next game. That's what he said. But he hasn't. They're not telling us what the hell is going on. It's soreness. Like, what has actually happened? This franchise, I don't really blame LaMelo Ball. I'd prefer it if he was wearing ankle braces, and he's going to have to do that. But this franchise is a joke. There's just no update. Like, what is actually going on here? Why is he missing this time with ankle soreness? This is going to mean LaMelo falls into the Kawhi Leonard zone of drafts next season, where you can get him a pick 40, and he's probably top 10 per game. And that'll be very intriguing to do that, to pick him there. But this is just frustrating because we don't know. They're not telling us anything. It is, again, poor injury reporting. Is it actually soreness? Or is there something else going on? Like Mark Williams' back problem, which we still have no update from this absolutely foolish team. Gordon Hayward will remain out for how much longer? I don't know. No idea what this team is doing. The Bronco, Jalen Williams and Isaiah Joe remain out for the Thunder. They went to a Case and Wallace starting group last time with Lou Dort at the 4. There's the Wallace, there's the Wiggins, there's the Jengs, there's Kenrich Williams. There's a bunch of guys they sort of shuttle in and out there that makes their rotation tough to guess. Jonte Porter will be out, but Yucca Poeltl is back in Toronto. And Tari next season remains out as well. I don't think that it is worthwhile holding Tari Eason personally. I still don't know when he's going to come back. I still don't know what restriction he's going to be on when he comes back. Is he going to play back-to-backs when he returns? Will it flare up again? What happens with the presence of Amen Thompson and Cam Whitmore, who weren't playing when Eason was doing that earlier in the season? There are just too many questions that I can easily throw out there about what his role is that I suggest that he's not going to be useful. He will have the occasional good game, but is there a 28-minute path here for Tari? Not really. There's just too many other things floating around. Plus, I just don't know when he's going to play. The cashier, Xavier Tillman, is doubtful. Cool. No point rostering him. He'll play 36 minutes and then not play, and then play 10 minutes. It's all over the shop. Not worth it. Muscala is questionable with his concussion. Bilal Koulibaly is dealing with... what injury does Bilal actually allegedly have? Lower back contusion. He would have been a nice stream guy, but they could be out Kuzma and Bilal, so a ton of minutes opening up for guys like Avdia to bump, but even like Corey Kispert there. Tyus Jones hurt his ankle last game. He's questionable in this game. This would bump Jordan Poole up a lot more to Kispert, and then probably DeLon Wright would have to jump into a larger role. I don't feel they're barely playing him though, so maybe they just go to Johnny Davis instead. I don't know. It's going to be ugly. They're going to turn into Memphis ugly, I think, later on as well. Jaylen Brown's popped up as questionable on the injury report. We know what happens if he is out. It means Al Horford gets more minutes, and then you get a trickle down to Pritchard and Cornette in that spot as well. More Grizzlies nonsense here with Lil John Conchar and Vince Williams both questionable. So look, if all these guys are out, what happens? Scottie Pippen went from starting last game to 0 minutes. He went to the G League. Jacob Gilead played 33 minutes after barely playing. Derrick Rose is back. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you about that team, and I don't think I will all season. 4-week reevaluation. Ivica Zubac is back within 18 days. What is this? Is a trend that has never happened before, by the way, of teams giving out these reevaluation dates. In the past, they would give out a reevaluation date, And without fail, the reevaluation date would come. They'd probably be 2 days behind on reporting it. And then they said, oh yeah, he's progressing well. He's either in practice or he's progressing well. We'll reevaluate in another week. That was the common thing that would happen. And we've seen that with DeAnthony Melton with the Sixers. But now, how many times has this happened? Zach Collins, Tyrese Halliburton, maybe Desmond Bane, and now Zubats coming back a week and a half earlier than the reevaluation date. It's like the information that these teams provide in the injury report isn't worth the paper that it's written on. So, if Zubats actually is back, Plumlee, Tice, Westbrook all lose value. And then in Indiana, speaking of injury reports and what does this mean? Tyrese Halliburton, questionable. I thought he was playing with limited minutes through this. Don't tell me he hurt it again. What do I make of this? Benedict Mathurin played 37 minutes or whatever it was in his first game back. He's questionable again with a toe issue. Sticks is questionable. Cool. Miles Turner is questionable. So, we might have 1 million minutes available for Andrew Nembhard, who played 6 seconds last game. Why? I don't know. Well, I do know, because Carlisle's reasoning was, yeah, he's just been under a huge load at the moment. Cool. I think you could do more if you've been under a huge load than play 6 seconds. No sense. Rotations make no sense on that team. We just got Brook Lopez ruled out for personal reasons for Saturday as well. Don't know if that impacts him on Sunday too. That's another one. Rowan Barrett, questionable. He hasn't played for a while. Andre Jackson, questionable. Now, Jackson has been ruled out for Saturday, so he's questionable here. Jeremy Grant, questionable. He left the last game early, and that gave huge minutes to the guards. Cade Cunningham is probable. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is probable. Peyton Watson is probable. And the Cornetto, Luke Cornett, is probable. A reminder, early game tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, early finish to games as well. Games finishing, or the last game tips off at 8:30 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. So just a lot going on. A lot going on. Today's episode is brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs. Small businesses, you know what you need to do. You need to come in there and you need to be your best. You need to have success in 2024. And one of the ways to do that is by improving your hiring practices. Putting your job up on LinkedIn Jobs, it's not just another job board. LinkedIn has access to a network of professionals, over 1 billion of them, in fact. And small businesses will attest that when you put your ad on LinkedIn Jobs, you can find your ad in front of a qualified candidate, get a response from a qualified candidate within 24 hours, 86% of the time. As a small business owner, you've got so many things that you need to do, whether that is hiring staff, whether it is running your business, front-facing customer stuff, marketing, whatever. I've run a business, my partner runs a business. We know this. Hiring is a huge thing. And getting the right people in so you don't have to waste your time is really, really key. And that's where LinkedIn Jobs can come in. So post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA. That is linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA. Post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Today's episode is also brought to you by BetterHelp. Sometimes we just need the opportunity to vent, to get things off our chest. Big or small, certain things can really start to get to you. And having an impartial, unbiased person to listen to you is what therapy can be for some people. So if there is, if you've got something that you really feel strongly about, say it. Say it out loud. Drop it in the comments even of this video. Go ahead. But if you want someone to talk to about it, go to therapy, because that can be one of the things that you're able to do. What it is that you can get authentically, like, what bothers you? Like for me, at the moment, there's a lot of stuff in NBA media discourse that really impacts me, and I need to vent it out. Sometimes I'll do it here, but talking to a therapist about this stuff and how you process the way it impacts you is key to getting through it, understanding what it is, and how you can work through it in your life. So if you've been thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. Therapy is different for everyone. Some of us have bigger problems than whatever's happening in sports or your favorite team, but it's important to get things off your chest every once in a while. BetterHelp is entirely online, designed to be flexible and suited to your schedule. Visit betterhelp.com/LockedOnNBA to get 10% off your first month. That is BetterHelp, HELP.com/LockedOnNBA. Okay, so we've looked at the injury updates. They're not good. The back-to-back Sunday to Monday, there are 3 teams. This is where we lead into week 16. Hornets, Clippers, Raptors all have that back-to-back. I'm not going to expect LaMelo to play. I'm not going to expect Gordon Hayward to play for the Hornets. I expect that Paul George may sit one for the Clippers. There is a risk of RJ Barrett not playing both and Jakob Poeltl not playing both for the Raptors, I would guess. I think Kawhi will be okay playing there. But they're the 2 teams, or the 3 teams, sorry, that play the Sunday, Monday back-to-back. So if you're looking to get stuff done on Sunday, now the Zubats thing does really cloud this a bit for the Clippers. Get stuff done Sunday while also boosting Monday, then you're in. If you're looking to stream in guys on Sunday for Yahoo Points Leagues, again, some of the names. This is a very weird Sunday stream day because there's a lot of uncertainty around things. We're looking at Santi Aldama, but, I don't know. I guess the fact that Jaren is ruled out and Tillman is doubtful means that Santi is going to have to play. So there's pretty good. Who's their center? Is Trey Jemison going to start for this team? Who's this? I just didn't even think of that. Who is their center? Or is Santi going to start at center? Don't tell me. Wow, Trey Jemison. Jesus. Jalen Suggs, I use these Yahoo points cutoff as 50% or lower. Jalen Suggs just should be on a roster, so yeah, go and add him if he's there. And then I've got a couple more Grizzlies guys. David Roddy and Luke Kennard. Now, Kennard barely played last game, but again, there's just a lot of guys out. He's not on the injury report, but other guys are, like Conchar and Vince Williams. So could they give more into him? And the same for Roddy. He's bad, but could he play 35 minutes because of all these players being out? That's possible as well. Then I've got Lou Dort there as well. And we know the Lou Dort experience is not good. The only one I feel relatively confident about, and I don't know how much I like this guy as a player, but Corey Kispert, with Kuzma out, he is going to have to do more. But yeah, it's a really weird situation with the way the injuries are setting up, especially in Memphis. I'm going to keep telling you about it. ESPN points, we're going to Suggs, Aldama, Kennard, Kispert. Al Horford is a really good stream in ESPN points. His value is higher in an ESPN points league than it is on a Yahoo points league, but he's still valuable, obviously, on a Yahoo points scenario as well. And then you got Lou Dort there for ESPN points. But there's just so much weirdness and up and down and injury reporting shenanigans, which is going to change a lot for a lot of these teams. Be aware. It is going to be annoying. It is going to be bad. For category leagues, we are streaming in for the points category. I do like Corey Kispert there. Again, not a Corey Kispert guy, but this is an opportunity for him. He went off last game too. Santi Aldama, he's just going to have to play more. The Duck Luke Kennard, maybe he plays, I don't know. Would they start GG Jackson? They should, but they haven't. GG could give you 4 points, he could give you 20. He's all over the shop. He's like taller Lou Dort at this point. David Roddy, again, look at this. Aldama, Kennard, Jackson, Roddy. A lot of Grizzlies there. Somebody has to score. Somebody has to take the shots. But my confidence level is so low. And then Alec Burks in Detroit is an option for us too. For threes, we are going to Kispert. We're going to Kennard. They're the pretty obvious ones there. Leaky Beasley. You can even throw Leaky into the points one too, although we know that he's sort of been a little bit downsized in his role since Glenn Rivers took over. You've got Eric Gordon there. You've got Alec Burks. And you've got Santi Aldama, who honestly could have a huge game. But Santi, obviously, 2 games ago was huge. Last game, bad. He's just not consistent. That's part of the reason why I'm just not as big on him as a player. For rebounds, I am going towards Jabari Walker. Even though his minutes have been cut, there is an opportunity for him to step up if Jeremy Grant is out, and he is a strong rebounder. Aldama's there. Plumlee's there, although who knows? Plumlee could play 0 minutes if Zubats is available. They could just go Zubats and Tice, but I don't know. I've got David Roddy there just through minutes. And then there's the Indiana situation. I've got Jalen Smith there. He would be useful as a backup. He could be way up the list if Miles Turner is out, but then he is also out. Or he is also questionable, Jalen. So Isaiah Jackson might be the guy. Just don't know, do I? And the last one there is Drew Eubanks as a rebound stream. The assist list, terrible. Terrible list. It's going to be so hard. I've got TJ McConnell at the top there, but I don't know. 2 games ago, TJ was a DNP CD. Last game, Andrew Nembhard was a DNP CD. Will one of them be a DNP CD on Sunday? Maybe. Or, now that McConnell's on the injury report with a questionable tag, maybe, not McConnell, sorry, Halliburton, is he out and then McConnell and Nembhard share the minutes? Is Mathurin out again? I don't know. McConnell's an option. And then I look down the rest of the guys, how confident do I feel in Jacob Gilead, who played 33 minutes last game? But what if Rose steps up? What if Pippen returns? Got Andrew Nembhard there, again, 6-second legend. Shout out to Andrew Nembhard. And anyone else who's a 6-second legend. Reggie Jackson's there. This is how deep we have to go. Vasily Micic, who might play 18 minutes and have 4 or 5 assists. No upside in him, though. And then Chris Dunn, 18-minute legend for him. It's a terrible assist streaming spot. Absolutely terrible, I think. What is that? Why did that come up like that? I was just looking, my regular, steal slide. Something has gone wrong and it's disappeared. So my steal streamers and my block streamers. So, and I actually don't have time to go back and recreate it. So I am just going to have to read it out to you directly. So just take some notes. It's not going to be up on your screen. The steal streamers for today or for Sunday. Jalen Suggs comes up on that list. Matisse Thybulle is there. Cody Martin is there. After I'm trying to do this on the fly. Amen Thompson, really good steal. Amen's a top 80 player over the last 2 weeks, by the way. But it's only because he's shooting free throws at a super high rate. His field goal's way up, and he's got a big steal rate. He's not a must-roster player. It's hard to do that when you're averaging like 6, 3, and 3, whatever it is. It's a lot of steals, and he's a steals guy. But don't get too overly excited about making Amen Thompson a must-roster player. Good stream, though, for the day. And then Jacob Gilead is also worth a look as a steals streamer. Again, but where's our certainty? Doesn't really exist. Today's episode is also brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. So happy Super Bowl to all of you who celebrate from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Super Bowl Sunday, it's about watching the game, but it's also about getting yourself set. So getting into the right spot on the couch, getting the food ready, the snacks ready, the guest list, the invites, where you're going, but also getting ready to place some super bets. FanDuel has so many ways for you to end the season with a W, or 2, or 3. Pick the winner of the game. Chiefs, Niners. I am going with the Chiefs. Look at the spread. Look at the total. Look at the MVP odds. Mahomes, it's got to be, surely. But could it be somebody else? Could it be Travis Kelce? Don't know. But you can check all that out over on FanDuel. Anytime touchdown scorers. McCaffrey's my guy there. But there's so many different options and so many different ways that you can get that W going over on FanDuel for Super Bowl 58. New customers join today. You get $200 in bonus bets if your first bet of $5 or more wins. Go to FanDuel.com/lockedon to sign up. That is FanDuel.com/lockedon. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. And don't forget to gamble responsibly. All right, and given there was an error with my steals screen, there's also an error with my blocks one. So I'm just going to read out the blocks again. Apologies for this technical difficulty. I'm going to read out the blocks ones for you. Nick Richards, he doesn't fall through my cutoff number, but obviously he's the guy. John Isaac's there. Peyton Watson is there. We go to Santi Aldama, Drew Eubanks as a blocks guy, Matisse Thybulle, and then we go to the Isaiah Jackson or Jalen Smith / Isaiah Jackson with the understanding that we just have absolutely no idea of who's going to play and who's going to be in that role. When 2 of the 3 centers have questionable tags, it does make it really tough to figure out. If we do look at field goal percentage, this is one of the slides that does work. I've got Mason Plumlee there. Pretty risky, though. Pretty risky. Then we've got the Smith-Jackson combo in Indiana. Drew Eubanks, Mo Wagner, Aaron Wiggins, a very, very, very good field goal percentage player as a wing, and Luke Cornett. But not a huge amount of excitement there with those guys, pretty obviously. Free throw percentage, we've got Alec Burks, we've got Cole Anthony, Luke Kennard, Derek Rose, Josh Richardson, and the Italian cock, Danilo Gallinari as free throw percentage stream guys. If we're looking at some of our other categories, for 3-point percentage, Leaky Beasley would be the guy that I take a look at. For offensive rebounds, Jabari Walker. Assist to turnovers, it's probably Jacob Gilead. For free throws made, I'm going to go with Alec Burks. And for field goals made, I'm going to go with Corey Kispert. Now, the last thing I want to talk about are chunks. Now, normally when we chunk it up, we talk about the next 5 days. That would mean Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But Thursday is the trade deadline show. So I don't think going the 5 days out to look at stream options is wise because so much changes on that Thursday. So we're going to chunk it up for 4 days. Sunday through to Wednesday, which is not what we normally do. And that is how we prioritize ads from today to maximize what we do without losing our week 16 ads to use at the deadline. So Norman Powell plays Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. But 3 games, quality days, all good. Cody Martin, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. We expect that he plays the back-to-back. Jalen Suggs has only got 2 games, but a nice Sunday game, and he's a good value Tuesday player as well. The 2 Miami guys, Jaime Jaquez and Caleb Martin, they don't play Sunday, Monday, but they play Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So you got the Tuesday, Wednesday back-to-back. So you get the benefit of Jaquez, who's available in over 50% of leagues now, and Caleb Martin's available. So you got the benefit of getting them in on Sunday and then get 2 games before the deadline hits as well without wasting a week 16 ad. And the other one there is Al Horford. Only the 2 games, a bit spread out, Sunday through Wednesday, but his value is relatively high, especially if they do sit someone like Jaylen Brown on Sunday. But I'd probably prefer the 3 gamers like a Jaquez, a Martin, a Powell, and a Cody Martin, or 2 Martins there in that scenario. And that brings me to the end of the Sunday streaming show. Sorry for that technical error, but also sorry for the fact that there's just so much uncertainty, and I don't know how so much is going to pan out. It's impossible to know. Too much uncertainty at the moment. Be nimble, be ready, get your moves ready, and hopefully we have a win here in week 15. Don't forget to, I don't know why I hit that button again, but I want you to hit the subscribe button, the thumbs up, the notification bell, all of that great stuff, and double bang and pre-bang the trade deadline show. Guys, we're done here. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. See ya.